So I wanted to make a video for you guys today on me and my family's story. And again, I know if you're seeing this part of the video, you read the disclaimer. I just want to be very candid and open on my experiences and my beliefs and why we are here today with my son Lucas. So I just hope that you guys are able to see what's most important in the video. And basically, this is my story on how early intervention has changed my son Lucas's life. So my son as a baby was very, very happy, very just emotionally connected, always smiling, always laughing, always engaging, looking, and I started to notice some changes. And these changes in my son happened at about 1 year of age. And you know, I know a lot of people are thinking, when do I think this happened?
Got you. Got you.
After my son's 1 year shots, I did see changes in my son. He was less engaged with eye contact.
Hey, Lucas. Lucas, here. Look at this.
He no longer was trying to talk. He wasn't babbling as often. In fact, he wasn't babbling at all. He just wasn't developing the way that he should. I noticed it was pretty apparent after our 1 year visit. Why isn't he babbling? And I was dismissed as him being quiet. And why isn't he putting things in his mouth? Why doesn't he want to eat?
Bite.
I was just dismissed. We'll just give it time. After all these talks and concerns that I had shared previous to this one phone call, a nurse Friday 3 p.m. called me and told me to take my son in and to get an evaluation done to see if he's on the spectrum.
Isn't that cool?
I just couldn't even believe that she said what she said, and it was kind of like, I knew he wasn't doing all these things, and I am hypochondriac, so I did think the worst, but for some reason I wasn't thinking autism. I started to Google like evaluation on the spectrum, and all I saw on Google was autism, just all these things of autism. And I reached out to some of my clients, and they started referring me to some really good places, and thank God for what I do. I feel like my career and talking to so many women who have been in my shoes really helped in everything with my son, even till today. And you know, together with 2 evaluations within 1 week, and my son was born February 21st, and by August 13th, my son turned 18 months old. He got a full diagnosis from Dr. Sutton in New Tampa that he had autism. I had just signed a lease to my second location, Beta Bay, the Extension Lounge. I have an older son, 7 years old, that obviously needs mommy, and you know, my husband and I are business owners. And it was probably one of the hardest times, I'd say, in our lives, our marriage. I mean, just in general. When I went to Dr. Sutton was and is our quarterback. Pretty much she tells me what my son needs and how many hours a week of therapy he needs it, and what's gonna get him to exactly where he needs to be, his full potential. Our job as parents is to set up our kids up for success for the rest of their lives. And I knew that it was very important, this early intervention that was brought to my attention after his diagnosis. Along with that, just handing it all over to God was number one for me and number one for my family, my husband. We were all in prayer, we were all in agreement. And I think it's awesome how so many people talk about miracles, but to kind of see, but to see my own miracles every single day within my son, along with these therapies, was just crazy.
I don't like that, Sam. I don't like that, Sam.
You want a snack? Did you eat your pasta? Penguins. I know, I see. No, you like the penguins?
20% of boys that are diagnosed before the 18 months of age that receive 30 hours a week of therapy shed the diagnosis or lose the diagnosis. I know that not everybody is going to be able to just jump into therapies right away, and I can tell you this, there's so much information online on how to do these. I mean, with Instagram nowadays, where this is probably where you're seeing this video, there's so many tools that they can give you, and they teach you how to encourage engagement. enough said, that was our life for 1 full year. My son was diagnosed August 13th, and I want to say August 16th, 17th, 1 year later, I had been asking Dr. Sutton, our quarterback is what I call her, hey, you know, my son's, he's talking now, and he's eating, and he's looking at me, you know, coming from my 7-year-old saying, my brother's a zombie, to now they're playing together and they're socializing and they're doing puzzles together. Like, I saw this progress. And she's like, it's only been a year. You know, typically this happens. It takes a while. But you know what? I'll go ahead and I will just talk to your therapist. So my therapist all got together and did an evaluation on my son before before that 1 year marker of therapy. And it was actually the first day of my son Noah going to kindergarten. She calls me and I'm in the parking lot, and she tells me, and you know, she was a little teary. I could tell over the phone, and I hope she's okay with me saying that. But with tears in her voice, she tells me that my son's a miracle. In fact, we could probably stop all therapies now, and my son would live a very fulfilled, successful life of not having this diagnosis be noticed at all.
Good job.
Sand.
Good, again.
Sand. Thank you for my ice cream.
And this beautiful day.
And this beautiful day.
I started to cry. I was just like, I couldn't believe that 1 full year later of these 30 hours a week of therapy, trusting in God, being, you know, together and supporting my husband supporting me. By the way, my 5-year-old was involved, at the time he was 5, now he's 7. He was involved in therapies, which is crazy just to see the transformation and, you know, what God and these therapies of early intervention did in our lives. Don't wait if your child's not talking. Don't wait if they're not eating. Don't have a doctor tell you, like he told me, maybe your son's quiet, or maybe he just doesn't babble. Like, I just, those things, you have to be on top of it. When a child is that young and they're developing, it's the most important time to do these therapies as opposed to waiting till they're older, because it gets harder. And I encourage you to always have faith, always move forward, always believe in something bigger and better for your family, yourself, for your future.
I wish I could have walked